The calm before the gate. What's about to hit your passport? If you've been dreaming about that long-awaited European trip, maybe a river cruise in Germany, a Mediterranean voyage, or finally checking Paris off your bucket list, listen carefully. Because starting next year, the way you enter Europe is about to change completely. And if you don't know what's coming, it could cost you hundreds of dollars or even stop you from boarding your flight. Don't panic. I've been a flight attendant for 25 years, and my job used to be getting 300 sleepy passengers and one emotional support chihuahua through customs without incident. So trust me, we can handle this together. Let's start with ETIAS, short for European Travel Information and Authorization System. It's Europe's new digital entry requirement for travelers from the US, Canada, Australia, and other visa-free countries. Think of it as a light version of a visa, but still mandatory, even for a short visit. You'll fill out an online form, answer a few security questions, and pay a small fee. It used to be €7. Now it's €20 per person, about $23. So if you're traveling as a couple, that's $46 before you even print your boarding pass. Add the grandkids, and you've spent $100 before leaving the driveway. The EU says the extra costs will improve border security. Sure, and airlines once said baggage fees were temporary. Still, there's a silver lining. Once approved, your ETIAS lasts 3 years and covers multiple trips. So if you love Europe and visit often, you won't need to reapply every time. You might be thinking, didn't they announce this years ago? Yes. ETIAS was supposed to launch in 2022, then 2024, then 2025. Now it's been pushed to late 2026. At this point, it's been delayed more times than my cousin's second wedding. But that's not the only change. Another system is coming sooner. EES, the Entry-Exit System. Starting October 12, 2025, those familiar passport stamps will disappear, replaced by biometric scans. Every time you enter or leave the Schengen zone, your face and fingerprints will be recorded. It sounds efficient, but the first few months may look like organized chaos. Imagine lines of travelers trying to figure out where to look for the camera, half blinking, half smiling, one still wearing sunglasses. It's going to feel like a group photo run by robots. The goal is to track overstays and tighten security, which makes sense, but expect delays at first. If your connection in Frankfurt is under an hour, maybe rethink that plan. Once everything's settled, the process should move faster. No more paper stamps or missing dates. Everything will be digital and neat. And maybe, just maybe, fewer sighs from French border officers. Let's do a quick recap. ETIAS, required for Americans, Canadians, and Australians. Launches late 2026. Costs €20 per person, valid for 3 years. EES starts October 12, 2025. Replaces stamps with facial scans. It may sound like a lot, but you've handled worse. You survived dial-up internet, early GPS that sent people into cornfields, and that cruise buffet shrimp incident in 2009. You've got this. The key is knowing what's coming before you fly. Nothing ruins the excitement of "Welcome to Europe," like hearing, "Sorry, you didn't fill out the right online form." In the next part, we'll talk about how the UK decided to build its own system, because of course they did, and how airlines are quietly fighting back over baggage fees. One of those changes might actually make you cheer.
The UK goes solo, and airlines fight back. If you thought Europe's new travel systems were confusing, wait until you hear what the United Kingdom decided to do. They looked at all of it and said, you know what, we'll handle this our own way. And of course they did, because what's more British than politely ignoring bristles? Meet the UK ETA, short for Electronic Travel Authorization. It quietly launched back in November 2023, and unlike Europe's ETIAS, it's already live. So, if you're flying to London, Edinburgh, Cardiff, or Belfast, you'll need this shiny new permit before you even pack your tea bags. Here's the catch. The UK ETA and Europe's ETIAS are completely separate. That means if you fly from New York to London, then hop over to Paris, you'll need both. Two systems, two forms, two fees, two chances to forget your password. It's the kind of travel math that makes you wonder if teleportation might have been a better option. The UK ETA lasts 2 years and costs £16, up from 10 when it started. So between the UK ETA and Europe's ETIS, that's about $40 per person in digital paperwork. It doesn't sound like much, but multiply that by a family or a small travel group, and suddenly that's a couple of dinners in Venice or a day's worth of gelato. You'd think by now there would be one global system for travelers, but governments can't even agree on a universal phone charger. Why start with something simple? Now let's talk about airlines, because while governments are adding fees, some lawmakers are actually trying to cut them. And for once, it's good news. The European Parliament voted to ban extra charges for small carry-on bags under 7 kilograms. If approved by member states, it means budget airlines like Ryanair, EasyJet, and Wizz Air will have to let you bring a small bag on board for free again. No more paying 30 or 40 euros just to carry your medication in a sweater. For travelers who've mastered the art of packing light, especially those of us who know how to roll clothes instead of folding, this is a victory. Clear pricing, fewer surprises, and maybe a little fairness in the overhead bins at last. Of course, not everyone is happy about it. Ryanair already doubled bonuses for staff who catch oversized bags, from €1.50 to €2.50 per passenger, with no cap. They've turned luggage checks into a sport. I can almost picture the scene, a gate agent squinting at a suitcase like a judge on a reality show. "Sir, that zipper looks suspiciously tight. I'm gonna need 60 euros and a measuring tape." If this new rule passes, it could save travelers hundreds of euros every year. That's not just money saved. That's extra excursions, better meals, or maybe even a nicer hotel room. Here's an insider tip. Invest in a compact, airline-approved suitcase. Some newer models, like the Tank Carry-On, are built slightly smaller than most brands, designed to fit all carriers' requirements without question. It's the kind of detail that saves you stress at the gate and possibly an argument. Now for another update. Starting November 2025, Ryanair is eliminating paper boarding passes entirely. Everything will be done through their mobile app. No printouts, no screenshots, just QR codes. If your phone dies, don't panic. They'll reissue a new pass for free at the airport as long as you've checked in online beforehand. Still, your phone battery now matters as much as your passport. So pack a power bank, actually pack two if you're traveling with grandkids, because there's a 99% chance one of them will borrow yours right before boarding. I've seen a lot change since my flight attendant days, but I never thought a dead phone could ground a passenger. Welcome to modern travel, where your charger is just as important as your boarding pass. Let's do a quick recap. UK ETA, active now, £16, valid for 2 years. ETIS, coming soon, €20, valid for 3 years. Carry-on bags may soon be free again. Paper boarding passes are disappearing by 2025. Travel is evolving fast, but a little preparation goes a long way. Keep your documents digital, your phone charged, and your patience nearby. Because the next act, Act 3, finally brings some real relief. For once, there's good news waiting at security. Liquids, laptops, and lost patients. The final boarding call. I promised you good news, and for once, I can actually deliver it. After nearly 20 years of tiny bottles and Ziploc bags, Europe is finally relaxing the 100 milliliter liquid rule. Yes, that's right. No more squeezing shampoo into hotel soap containers or hiding full-size lotion bottles in your shoes. Airports in Milan, Rome, Berlin, Amsterdam, Birmingham, and Edinburgh now have advanced CT scanners that can see through liquids and electronics without you unpacking a thing. That means you can bring up to 2 liters of liquid in your carry-on. Full-size shampoo, water bottles, even that olive oil you swore was for a friend. But not every airport is ready yet. Berlin might wave you through with your new luxury shampoo, while Paris could still take it away with a polite smile. So before you fly, check the rules for both your departure and arrival airports. Otherwise, your favorite conditioner could end up as part of the confiscated bottle collection behind security. Across the Atlantic, the TSA is slowly catching up. They've started testing similar scanners in major US airports, though it'll take time before we see them everywhere. Progress is progress, even if it's slow. And yes, this is the same TSA that once confiscated my Apple because it was too round. Apparently, Granny Smiths are now a national security risk. Here's something that will actually make your next flight smoother. In July 2025, the TSA launched a pilot program on select flights from London Heathrow to Dallas and Atlanta. If you're on those routes, you can skip the second security screening after landing in the US. No shoes off, no laptop out, no juggling your belt, shoes, and dignity in front of strangers. If the program succeeds, it could expand to more airports in 2026. And for frequent travelers, that could mean saving up to an hour during connections. That's a big win for anyone who values time, or sanity more than free pretzels. Now, let's look at what's happening once you land in Europe, because the airports aren't the only ones changing the rules. Popular cities are pushing back against over-tourism. Venice now charges day visitors €5 on busy days. Barcelona is cutting thousands of short-term rentals to make housing affordable again. Amsterdam raised its tourist tax to the highest in Europe. So yes, you might pay a little extra for the canals and croissants, but it's all in the name of balance. Meanwhile, France's air traffic control unions are once again planning strikes. In September 2025 alone, thousands of flights were delayed or canceled. If you've ever tried to rebook a flight through Paris during a strike, you know it's an experience that makes you believe in patience or prayer. Here's my best advice. Always check your airline's website before you leave home. Follow the U.S. State Department's travel advisories and allow extra time for your connections. You can't control the weather or the unions, but you can control how prepared you are. And while we're talking about preparation, let me say this loud and clear. Print your confirmations. I know it's 2026 and everyone loves digital everything, but when the Wi-Fi drops or your app crashes, that piece of paper becomes gold. The traveler with the printed itinerary always boards first. Always. Let's do a final recap. Liquids, up to 2 liters now allowed in many European airports. TSA pilot, skipping second screenings on some U.S. connections. Tourist taxes, higher but manageable. Strikes, frequent but predictable. And patience, still your most valuable travel companion. After 25 years of flying, I've learned that the calmest traveler is always the one who prepared and smiled anyway. Don't let new rules scare you away from your dream trip. Knowledge is the best carry-on you can have. Europe may be changing how you enter, but not what makes it special. The food, the history, the laughter, the memories that stay with you long after the flight home. So charge your phone, pack smart, print your confirmations, and bring a little humor along. I'll see you at the gate, hopefully with your shampoo still intact and your patience fully charged. Because turbulence always passes, but the stories you bring home, those last forever.